So this video is basically about how to take a GY6 150cc engine out of a four-wheeler quickly. Basically, you undo the carburetor where it goes into the top of the engine, you undo the exhaust, you undo the starter motor, at least I had to get it out, and take the chain off of the engine, and then there's 1, 2, 3 bolts that hold it in. I think it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to start with, oh, and then the electrics. I unplugged them, and I ended up pulling the this blue wire that controls the timing for the spark plug, the pickup wire, out of the crimp, so I'll have to redo that. Anyways, yeah, I started with the electrics, and then I'm going to go to the exhaust with a 10mm long socket. $10mm for exhaust. Most of them. Don't want to lose it. That exhaust bolt, a little bit. Exhaust is free, but I got to take off the foot peg on one of the sides, foot peg on the other side to get to it. See what here. washers just popped off the exhaust stud. Put them in there. And let's see if I can go that way. I think. Yep, I take the exhaust out of the back. Through the back to do that. Free exhaust here. Set this over here. And now I will take the chain off. Master link is I got the master link on the sprocket. It's a little bit easier for me to take it off. Master link. Ooh. Master link pieces. Always helps to have a jug to push stuff in. Chain right off and put it in those. So I got the chain off, I got the exhaust off. Now I've got the electrics off. I think now I'm going to go for the carburetor and the starter. I know I'm forgetting something. I think. I'm not sure. Most carburetor bolts are 10 millimeter. This is the one that goes directly to the engine. It's loose, but it's so loose that I have to hold it or else the ratchet just turns it back the right direction. Carburetor, come on, carburetor. Oh, yeah. Take the spark plug wire off of the spark plug. So, that is one of the 10 millimeter bolts that holds the carburetor on. Maybe I'll go from this side to get the other one. It's loose now. Quite loose enough to do with my finger. One of my most unfavorite bolts to get. These carburetors. Okay, it's actually loose enough for me to do by finger, but I haven't built up my kung fu in my fingers to be really good at it. Because I'm not a kung fu master. Okay, I have the other bolt that holds the carburetor intake manifold on there, out of there. So the carburetor's free. What else? Carburetor, exhaust, electric, spark plug. Okay, now I'm going to take the starter off. That is an 8mm, if I remember correctly. My 8mm extension here. The reason you have to take the starter off is because the frame, the way you take the engine out, the frame always hits the starter, and it doesn't let you take it out from the right side like I do, and it just always goes way easier if I take the starter out. I tried to take it out without taking the starter out, and it did not work at all. It was stuck inside the engine frame. And don't forget, you've got a grounding strap, actually a couple grounding straps that go on this bolt that holds the starter. And that's a good place to ground the grounding strap, because your starter isn't grounded really well, then your starter doesn't work really well. Just like on all cars, pretty much. Two 8mm bolts that hold the starter. I'm just going to put them in the jar. I know where they go. Tug on the starter, it pulls straight out. One thing I don't like about taking the starter out is I usually leave this red wire attached to the wiring harness, and I put the starter, actually, you know what? I set it right down here, it'll probably be just fine. Pull this step away, so starter's out, carburetor's off. Unless I'm missing something big, I think it's just one, two. Holy cow, is that bolt gone? Oh my goodness. Whoops. I don't know how that thing got gone. That sucks. Well, I'm missing one of the bolts that holds it in there this whole time. I wonder if I hurt the engine. So I've got 1, 3 down there. Shoot. That was recent. That's a 13 or 12mm. It's actually a 12. It's a 12 on that side, and it is a 14 on this side. So put a 14mm wrench on this side, hold it, loosey righty tighty. Looks like the nuts already turned on the other side. So I should have just got 14. This one loose. Before I pound it out, I'm going to take the smaller one out. It's down here underneath the engine. There it is. It's my bolt that holds the lower thing, part of the engine, and I'm going to pound out with a rubber mallet or something the one that holds the top. I have to pound it out with a screwdriver when it gets in there. Just hold it. Bolt that holds the top. The other bolt, about the same size as this, goes in right there. I think it's an M8. Maybe this is an M10. Yeah, I lost it. So, well, yay, Chinese four-wheelers. Put that in there. Gather some of my tools together. So I'm going to go crazy trying to scoot this engine out and throw a fit. After I've finished going insane for about 15 minutes, I will have all my tools in one place at least. Think everything is removed. I'm gonna kind of pick the engine up and kind of move it this way. Carbs out of the way. You know what? I'm gonna replace that carb with a Mikuni. I'm just gonna keep it right there for now. So I lift it up, I go forward with it, and I think I come this way. Let's see how it works. I'm just going to move it that way. See, make sure I don't have any other cords or anything attached to this that I forgot about. It's very possible, especially when you're making a video. The only thing holding the engine is this rubber fender right here. Just get it this way. This thing was attached to the valve. Okay, view. There it is. There is the GY6 removed out of the engine. There's about 100 videos on how to change the cylinder and the cylinder head and the piston, so I'll let somebody else do that one. But engine's out. It's not that bad. At least it's not that bad with all quads. Thanks for watching.